they do. And it's where we kind of break down e-commerce brands and the buying experience of what it's like to find a brand, engage with their content, purchase from them, and just watch their marketing cycle and see like what do they do well and what do they not do well.
Yeah, it's the best way to learn.
Totally. So can someone throw me a shoebox? Here we go. It's coming in. We're coming in with a shoebox here. So this is a special.
By the way, we chased this down from the trash.
Yeah, we did.
were about an hour from this box being gone.
Molly went in that trash can. Molly went dumpster diving.
So what happened? How did you get this box?
So Ezra said, "Oh, they're on the garage. I think they're still there." So Colleen drives me down the driveway. The trash can was open, which was like, oh man,
It
was still there.
And I was like, don't worry, Molly, nobody ever drives down this road. Nobody's going to see us in the trash. Meanwhile, as my head is in the can, somebody drives by.
Yeah, someone drives by.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it wasn't
So you were
embarrassing.
fully into the trash?
My head was down in the trash can. And I'm thinking, Molly, don't worry. Nobody's going to see us dumpster diving at Ezra's house. And my feet are like dangling out the end. And the car's going by. So, but we got our boxes. Nobody had picked them up
Good job.
yet.
Good job. Yeah. So
You got to take it for the team sometimes.
Yes.
The long story behind this is that I like, so it's kind of weird. You ever do something that works well and then you just kind of stop? For no apparent reason. My most popular blog posts on Smart Marketer are the How'd They Do segments. I did if you go and you search How'd They Do on smartmarketer.com, you'll see Buck Mason, Koyuchi, which one?
Everlane?
I didn't do Everlane. I should do them.
Yes, you should.
A couple other ones. And people loved them. And then I just stopped doing them. Don't know why. And so I had like saved these boxes because I was going to do it on this brand because I kind of fell in love with this brand. And these sat under my desk for like 4 months. And Carrie finally was like, you know what? Get rid of these boxes. Like no more with these boxes if you're not going to do anything with them. And so we had thrown them away. As you know, we threw them out.
They were deep.
And I think we
deep
should
in the
stay on
trash.
that wide. I think it's a more compelling shot if we stay wide. Yeah, I think we should stay there. So anyways, then we decided, once you guys got here and I realized that you were all a big fan of this product as well, I thought, well, if they're still in the trash, we really ought to try to do it. So let us show what we all have in common. Ooh, that's just the top of them. Let's take them off. Take them off and show them.
All right.
So these are Allbirds. And this is their packaging here, Allbirds. So Colleen is rocking the navy blue Allbirds. I got the black here, slip-ons. Molly over there has the green and white Allbirds. And Lindsay has got the nice plum flavor. So let's go down the line real quick and just talk about what we like about this brand. Before we look at any of their marketing, before we look at their website, let's talk a little bit about like this brand, by the way, they've got to be doing, I don't know both mics, but they've got to be doing, they have to be an 8-figure brand. They have to be based on just what I see of their marketing and their communication, the way they've treated me as a customer, which I'll talk about because I've got to be in the top. Like I bought them for my mom. I bought them for everyone I know. I bought them for my team.
We all found them independently.
Yeah.
Means they're doing something right.
They're doing something right. And it's been so nice to tell other people about it. And everyone has a good experience with them.
Yeah.
From their marketing to
closer.
A lot of people are excited about the shoebox, which is super unique. And Molly said it earlier, you get happy when you see this at your door. So it's been awesome to recommend it to people and keep on seeing them grow. They've done partnerships with people. They come out with limited editions. They're doing awesome. I love them.
Yeah.
So the shoe is made of wool. So you can wear it in the summer or the winter, but you don't have to wear socks. So that's the huge benefit for me.
And your feet
I don't like
stink
socks.
when you don't wear
Yeah.
socks.
They don't smell bad.
You should just smell their own shoes.
It doesn't smell great, but they're also really light. I think Colleen said this is like pillow heaven or something like that. Yeah. So they're also really light, but I think what they do well, and I know we're going to show the marketing, but what they really do well, I have 5 pairs of these, and I'm a female, but I'm not a huge shoe person. And the reason I have 5...
Anyone with 5 pairs of one shoe is a huge shoe person.
The reason I have 5 5 pairs of these is because they come out with limited edition colors and they really get me. Like the ones that Colleen has over there, I have super shoe envy about this. That's no longer available. So you better believe if it becomes available again, I'm going to grab it. But it's great for everybody. So your mom, my grandma, your boyfriend.
I bought it for my business
kids.
partners. I bought it for everyone. Yeah,
It's
I
just
bought it
a
for
gift.
My godson, I bought him for.
Anybody.
Yeah. A universal, so they have a mass market offer, which is, it's so ideal with e-commerce to have an offer that's relevant to both genders, that's relevant to all age ranges. The one thing I will point out about this brand before we get into like, their marketing is on point. Their marketing is phenomenal. We're going to talk about why and what, and some areas I think they could improve as well. But one thing that you must have, that you will not go, like my goal now with e-commerce is to build 8-figure brands. I've done one 8-figure brand, several 7-figure brands, and now that I've seen the potential as it relates to e-commerce as a business model, which is, I have an information publishing business, as you guys know. I have a software as a service business. And we have e-commerce businesses. And e-commerce, in my opinion, is the easiest one to systematize, easiest one to scale. You cannot do it without an incredible product. Yeah. You must have something that adds value to the marketplace beyond every other person that's in the market. And one thing that they've done, a lot of people have great products and crappy marketing and never make it. So you need both, but you will not scale to a multi-million-dollar business without a really awesome product. You've got to have it.
Yeah. Because I would have bought one pair and maybe enjoyed, but I wouldn't have purchased 5.
Right.
If they just weren't so damn good.
If they weren't so damn good. And
I was telling Carrie and Colleen earlier that I bought a pair and took them to Europe recently, right out of the box, didn't try them at all, and was like, well, it's now or never. As soon as we started walking around, no blisters, no rubbing, nothing. They're perfect right out of the box, and you don't find that often ever.
No. And
so it's a great product.
And my purchase journey with these, by the way, one of the things that I think we're seeing in e-commerce today is an extension of the purchase journey, right? Like where I came from was search, find, buy. You search for something, you search for a dog bowl, you find the dog bowl, you make a purchase within 3 days, And as advertising and visibility generation has gone contextual and has gone story-based and content-based, that journey has now, it's gone up to like 90 to 120 days in a lot of markets, especially what I would consider a premium offer. These things are $100.
Yeah.
That's a premium, that's kind of a premium offer. I mean, their margin on this must be incredible. They must be making some cash on this thing. But I will say, I saw these ads, and I see a lot of ads, and I love looking at ads, and I noticed them, I was like, boy, those ads, before I knew anything about the product, I was like, boy, those ads are done well.
Such good ads.
Really well done ads. Then I saw a guy at an event wearing them, and I was like, dude, like, what do you think of these shoes? I've seen them, and he was like, these are the best shoes ever. This guy, Garrett Gunderson, shout out to Garrett Gunderson. He's a
smart guy, Garrett.
What's Garrett's business? He's, do you know Gary's Wealth Factory, I think, or Wealth Financial? He's a sharp-looking gentleman, long hair. He's got a beard. He's from Austin. Anyways, he was like, dude, you've got to try these shoes. I just live with them. And I travel everywhere. I only use them. And I was like, okay, endorsement. It was like another month of seeing their ads before I made a purchase. And then once I got them and I got the box, let's talk a little bit about the box. Well, first, let me just pass them. Do you even own a pair in your own home?
I do not own a pair.
Are you going to, here, you can grab that.
Will you?
I don't know if Carrie's going to be able to pry these off my feet.
So what's your experience of them so far?
Well, that I don't want to take them off my feet, and that I might want a pair of the slip-on ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're pretty amazing. They just, they feel like clouds on my feet. I don't know if that sounds
They feel
silly,
really. So the point is, a great product, right? And then the sub point that we were making was that if you're building a query-based business on like Amazon where you're trying to rank for different keywords and stuff, short purchase cycle. But if you're building businesses the way that we advocate for, which is telling stories, engaging users in conversations, amplifying content, note to expect that your sales journey is going to be a month or 2 or 3, and you've got to be prepared for that, which means that you need good margins on your product that people will reorder, that kind of thing. So the box comes, and I'm going to let Molly Pittman over here give you a tour of this box.
Well, I can't do both, Ezra.
Are you good?
Okay, guys, so this shows up to your door. So the first time that I bought these shoes, I had tried on Lindsay's, so I was sold. So I bought 2 pairs, and I thought that this box had 2 pairs of shoes in it, which would have been kind of cool, but it's cool anyways. So you open it, right? We got the arrows. You got a little bit of cool, what do we have? A little picnic basket here.
And
We've got a hand coming out.
I want to talk about when you look at branding, right? And you look at visual aesthetic, this style, this cartoon style is in all of their emails. It's in all their ads. It's in their GIF imagery. So they've really picked a direction and gone with it. It's on their product packaging. That is good branding.
We are Allbirds.
Then they're going to say their name a bunch of times because why not?
I also got interested because their mascot is a sheep.
Yeah.
Or a lamb. But their name was.
They're wool.
Yeah. But then I didn't understand the Allbirds. But
I still don't understand the
I still don't understand it, but it made me go looking.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So you open and you have the product. So these were your wool loungers.
Pull that to the camera. So
Yeah.
they've got a little bit of sales copy, a little explanation in the actual box.
Yeah, it says, if for any reason you're not satisfied with your shoes through the first 30 days, we're happy to take them back. Just visit the help page at allbirds.com to find out how to easily complete your return or exchange. I bet that helps with customer service.
That helps with customer service. I bet you it helps reduce returns because people are like, oh, like if I have a problem,
It's okay.
boom, it's solved, you know? So they're communicating that right in there. They're using their packaging as a mailer. So this is a mailer, but it's also their packaging. And have you ever seen a shoe box with 2 sides to it? So they're really innovative.
Shoe, right?
Yeah.
So the shoes come in a different box. It's just cool.
It's
right?
smart. It's really
and then
smart.
over here, Meet the Wool Lounger, designed in New Zealand, made from superfine New Zealand merino wool. Da-na-na-na-na. No socks required for experiencing the world, not sitting at home.
Okay.
Also,
Really speaking to a lifestyle there. I
Yeah.
like that.
the thing also,
Pass it to the mic.
the thing about the box that's really cool is that when you receive it in the mail, it comes just folded up like that. There's no extra packaging. It's just wrapped
yeah.
up with a cord instead of wasting a ton of packaging because they've made it a point that they're super eco-friendly.
So they have combined their package insert, their full shipping box, their product container, all in one, which really speaks to this. We're seeing this trend of green, of what's the word? There's a lingo word here. The not conservation, but
Minimalism.
yeah, minimalism. So anyways, really well done box.
Now it can go in the trash.
Now it's now it's a gone bird.
And FYI, it was in the recycling.
It was okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to do. I want to talk, we're going to go backwards here through the purchase journey, and we're going to look at some slides. Then we're actually going to look at their website, and I'm going to break down on the e-commerce side of things. Basically, like usually when I tear apart websites for e-commerce, like there's a lot of things I find wrong. I'm like, yeah, they could do this, they could do this, they could do this. I quickly looked at their site, which looks different than when I bought. They've updated their look and feel, and it means they're running some split tests and stuff, but there's only a couple suggestions I have. I mean, it's like they're doing a really good job on the conversion rate optimization side of things. So the first thing that I noticed and we'll pop to the screen here, and this is now what people are seeing, they're seeing what's on the screen, is that the order confirmation and the shipping confirmation are not at all visually appealing or styled the way that their sales emails are styled, or that doesn't match the ads I saw, doesn't match the way it felt to receive the product, doesn't match the website. It's like, I feel like these are the emails that everyone is checking. There's no social, buy on social, share on social. There's no join our community. There's no get 10% off on your next pair.
Right.
It's just really, I feel like they could really up-level, to use the parlance of our time, which, by the way, did you guys know that up-level has become a thing?
Yeah.
You guys have heard this, right?
There's a book.
Okay, so wait, tell me about this, because I'm fascinated by lingo and how people communicate, and I'm always like, in 2009 it was hustle, right? And then it was like there was grind, and there's crush. And there was some other ones, and now we've gone in 2017. I want to say up level just hit, and everyone's been up leveling and leveling. I can't tell if it's level up or up level. There's been a bunch of levels happening, and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we all of a sudden leveling up? All of them in the entrepreneur world in particular, it's all the levels now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyways,
There is a book though. It's called Up Level Your Life.
Well, sure, yeah. Now there's up. Everyone's up leveling.
everyone's up
You
leveling.
got to level up. Anyways,
What level are we on?
Yeah, I don't know.
We're on at least 11.
So, do you agree that, with that assessment? Yeah. Could use some up-leveling of their confirmation type emails.
Sure.
All right, moving on. This email, I thought, was phenomenal because it was like, welcome to the flock. Here's why we're awesome. Here's why you're going to love these things. We're giving you 30 days to put them to the test, take them to the streets. Here's beautiful imagery. This is what I was expecting, right? Like this, if you took this same design and layout and just added it to your those other confirmation emails, you'd be winning. Or maybe added in like a join us on social. There's no call to action to join their community. They're only communicating via email. It wasn't go find us on Instagram. It wasn't go join us on Facebook. There was no
checkout. There was no check out the blog. Here's this good piece of content. There was no follow through, kind of to make sure that they have 30 days to use the shoes, but nothing to encourage people to go use the shoes. Or
how is it going?
Yeah.
Or hey, guess what? If you keep your first pair in 15 days, we're going to give you 20% off your next pair. Like no incentive to keep them. Like there's, and I think part of that is just they have such a good product.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're just like
something that I do love about all of their marketing is it's not just about the shoes, right? They're speaking to the shoes and the quality, but they really speak to what you're going to do with the shoes and who you're going to be with the shoes.
Yes.
And that's so powerful, speaking to that, end benefit. So, take it to the streets, hit the trails.
Pop that up for us, guys.
Run wild. Right?
Yeah.
That could mean a lot of things.
Yeah,
I love that.
Who doesn't want to frolic?
Yes. Free as a bird.
Free as a bird. Yeah. So, and then I actually do like that in there, hey, these shoes are going to be awesome. They're like, hey, do you want to buy more stuff? Right?
Shop them. Shop the shoes.
Here's pictures of more shoes. Buy more stuff. And this is a criticism that I have on them as a e-commerce marketer who I'm a big fan of my own work, is that they have such an opportunity with their cool story and their, I'd like to keep I'd like to keep that. Such an opportunity to tell their story, to talk about how great their products are, to talk about how their stuff is manufactured, to talk about all the things we're going to look at when we look at their website, the promises they make, the partnerships they make. None of that gets emailed or advertised or promoted. It's all just buy our stuff.
Like it'd be cool if we saw a video of them shearing the sheep.
I want to see a sheep shorn.
Yeah. Where'd this come from?
Yeah. Say that 5 times fast.
I want to see a sheep shorn. 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 That's not bad.
Heck yeah.
So that is a major criticism I have of this brand is that I feel like with the possibilities that they have for storytelling and how effective we find content amplification, that they could do a lot more of that with their top level marketing rather than just sell, new flavors, or whatever you want to call them. They're constantly saying new stuff, which is great.
Yeah, they're also, like I said earlier, they're doing partnerships with different brands, other e-commerce brands. They just did one with Outdoor Voices. They did nothing there, top-level content, to encourage that, why they had a partnership together. They've done some limited edition shoelaces. There's just no information behind it. But they're really, really good at photography. And lately they've been, I think you'll show it, bringing more like pets and stuff into it, showing more personality. But there's just not a lot of background stuff that they're running.
Yeah. And by the way, do whatever you want with the camera. Okay. So yeah. So I got to look. So what's happening is my wife, Carrie, is behind the camera with our tech supervisor.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Wonderful.
And I gave an instruction to our tech supervisor manager guy, and I got to look from her like, don't give him instructions. You do your job. All right, you just stand there on camera and do camera stuff, and let us handle behind the scenes. So I just wanted to acknowledge that I noticed that, and I'm backing way off. Consider me all the way back here.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I apologize. Yeah. All right, moving on. So what I want to show now is some of the emails that they sent to sell their product, because boy, are they done well. And it's like you feel this. You feel when you see this imagery and this content, and they've got call to actions, and they've got lifestyle imagery, and they've got they release colors and bring colors back, and so like when you look at that, what do you feel?
I want them.
Yeah, I know.
I've never seen that color before.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It makes me want to go live my life in their shoes.
Yeah, I mean, they just do a great job.
Well, and I want them in every color.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm still in, as you were saying, like this 30-day cycle of like deciding, do I want and investigating more.
Yeah.
I'm still there, although I'm jumping way ahead.
Carrie's
because
not getting those back. I think we know what's happening with those.
But had I not put them on,
Right.
I would be, I would
Evaluating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely, and I would be. This would be seducing me. These images,
Email seduction.
and the colors and the, because girls, part of the reason, Molly, you have 5 pairs is because there's at least 5 colors, and people want the whole collection.
So where we were was we first we talked about the brand, about what we like about them, what we think they could do a little bit better. We've looked at some of their emails. We're currently in the process of looking at the emails that they're using to, in my case, sell people who already bought from them, because I already bought from them. I don't know if they're doing I didn't experience top line emails from them. I signed up for their email list, and all I ever got were sales pitches before I bought. So I didn't experience them doing content marketing via email. I only experienced sales pitches. So we're looking at their sales pitch emails. Here's another one. Now, what I loved about this one was the one I received that was a content-based pitch. So what we'll notice is it's like, hey, did you know that New Zealand sheep are awesome? It shows a hero shot of the product, has a little bit of description about why their product is beautiful and awesome, and it has a video in there that links direct to social. And this is what I was hoping they would do post-purchase. So this video links right to their Instagram. Now, what tells me that they're not doing this enough is that only has 6,000 views. A company that spends the kind of money they spend on ads, that should have 1 million views, 100,000,
Yeah.
So like this piece of content with all these sheep running down this crazy hill, you know what I mean? Like it's such an amazing piece of content that demonstrates like this is where our product comes from. And you know what the millennial generation cares about? I know they're selling to millennials. Where story and where stuff is made, how it's made, right? So I just loved this email. And by the way, there was a call to action under that took you over to shop their shoes, right? So you could click over to social, but then you go back to your email and find an easy link back to buy their product. So I thought this email in particular was really, really well done, linking out to the social. Anything you guys want to say about that?
Other than, like you said, it speaks to, I want to know where they're made. I want to meet the sheep. I want to meet the sheep who made my shoes, who sacrificed their coats for my shoes.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how many pairs of Allbirds this is going to sell. The idea here is to give you valuable content that will help you grow your e-commerce business and ultimately lead you back to our products. But we're also probably going to lead you to Allbirds too, because they're a phenomenal product. So, moving on. So we've got a couple things here, okay? The first is repurposed content. So one of the things that I talk about a lot, you guys, is conversion assets. So this video that we're looking at here, this Instagram video, is what I would label for an e-commerce brand as a conversion asset. Conversion assets can also be customer video testimonials, emails, different emails and email sequences, product imagery, all these different assets that you are putting in front of a prospect to tell a story and ultimately convert them into a sale. What they've done in this email that's all the way on the left, if you look all the way to the left of the screen, they've reused that conversion asset and they've basically retold some of their story from a previous email. So essentially they didn't have to create a whole new asset. They needed 2 new blurbs of content and image, but they're reusing the main asset of that video, which I thought was done really well. Now, one of the things you can't see when you're looking at this screen is that the email in the middle was is it a GIF or a GIF? GIF was a GIF image where those shoes were moving. And if you get their emails, you see they do that a lot, right? They're constantly, stuff's moving. Like, for example, this one on the right, this sheep was moving too. Okay. So I thought that this email was done really well. And one of the things I've noticed, a trend for e-commerce, is flat paper backgrounds that make your products pop. Take a look at the middle one here. Notice that these shoes are shot on what's known as a flat paper background. So it's like a flat colored paper that really just pops that product. Like we are kind of, if you pop back to our video, we've got that similar color here on the wall that kind of makes us pop. I mean, we pop anyways, right? But I thought they did that really well. And one of the other things I want to point out if you look at this brand's email content, is consistency of font, consistency of text size, consistency of button call to action, consistency of type and size of image. Like they're really getting, they're after a particular, feel and aesthetic. Yeah, and it's working really well. So basically, they're hard selling. All the emails are like, buy this, buy this, buy this. And I think that they could do more of like these two that
Goodwill content. Yeah, I think they could do a lot more Goodwill content.
What's that?
Just kind of providing more that's not just all about selling. They've done a few where it's charity based, talking about giving back, and I think that goes a long way, making people feel like their purchase contributes to something else. I know that Tom's does that, where they say buy a shoe, they give a shoe. I think Warby Parker does that, where they give more. So I think Allbirds talking about how recently all of our purchases have helped them donate to bigger charities.
Yeah.
That's really great. But more videos, like you were saying, things that aren't just pitching, but things that help you relate to the brand, see yourself involving yourself more with their brand, and kind of just more fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, they talk a lot in their copy about what you can do with the shoes, how you will feel, but there aren't a lot of visuals. So I remember I wondered when I purchased these shoes if I could run in the shoes, right? So it would be really cool if some of their images and emails were more specific to.
I had that same question.
Yeah, you can hike in these shoes, and meet Colleen. She went on an awesome hike, and here's how she felt, right?
Yeah. I actually remember exactly how I found Allbirds, and it was through an article from Refinery 29 from someone totally unaffiliated. They said, we're not affiliated, we don't get a commission or anything like that, but the article was the $95 pair of shoes that changed my life and the way that I work out. And she just wrote an entire article about what her previous lifestyle had been at the gym, shoes that she had to break in for a couple weeks, soles that ran out. And then she talked about how she got these and her whole life has been changed. That's the kind of content that they can be creating on their own site.
User-generated content, man.
Yeah.
They do well of getting people to hashtag Instagram images, as we'll see when we look at their site. But like the thing that I thought was a little strange was they are doing all this stuff with relationship to, giving to charitable causes, being sustainable. Like they're doing all this stuff that you would be excited about a brand doing. They're just not using that in their advertising and email sales process, right? And I think that if they were to take a more content story-based approach, they actually would sell more than just buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. All right, moving on. Now we're going to take a look at some of the advertisements. The first thing that we have on our screen now on the left is another email. It's all the way left is actually an email. You can see hero shots of the product, dynamic imagery, that same flat color, just good, solid, well done email. Let's take a look at the ad, and Molly and Lindsay, and I'll let y'all talk a little bit about these two ads, and we'll kind of circle through some more.
Yeah, sure. I love their ads. If you look in my saved folder on on Facebook and Instagram, it's pretty much all their ads.
Quick note, real quick, is if you're a business owner and you're not constantly, as you're on social media, saving ads that you like, you're missing out, because at some point you're going to have to write an ad. Hopefully you're writing a lot of ads. As you'll notice, Allbirds, one of the things they do really well is they constantly have new, fresh ads. You can get inspired by what other people are doing. All you got to do is click that little save button.
Yeah, and now Facebook has a feature that you can create collections. So you can
really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
So I have a social swipe file, and Allbirds has its own folder. So all of my swipes in there are mostly Allbirds. They're bringing more stuff out. If you look at that ad that you were showing on the screen again, they're doing a good job with the new ones. This is one of their limited edition ones, and they made it really obvious in your face that these were going to be limited editions. So I love that they're connecting them with different textures and backgrounds. I've seen this pink one with broken pink salt behind it. And I think the right one was meant to demonstrate the new shoelaces. What do you think, Moss?
Yeah, I love that they used they played off of the song here, right? Put the lime or the coconut or even the grapefruit in your wool runners. That was terrible. It was terrible. I'm embarrassed now. I love that they did that. For me, the ads. These ads, there's great photography. You can really, see the shoe and it looks beautiful. I want more out of the ads though. I need them to give me a little bit more. I'm not a huge branding ad person, like let's just drop a sentence. I think these are great for retargeting to warm traffic.
Yes.
If you've already purchased, awesome, and they just want to announce that there's a new color, great, because that's what I'm interested in. If these were going to cold traffic, I would need a little bit more.
Yeah,
right?
I want that. I want those sheep running down the hill as your top line
And again,
ad.
situational. I want to know, what am I going to do in these shoes, right?
Yeah.
Shoes are shoes. We can get them anywhere.
Yeah.
Why are your shoes different, and not just from a, they're wool, they're great quality. I want to know what I'm going to do in the shoes.
Yeah.
How am I going to be a different person? So that's my biggest feedback on these ads. Again, they could just be for warm traffic, but I would say these are going to cold. Yeah.
And when we look at we'll keep a look at these. I like the that they got the cuffed pants because they know that that's hot right now. The whole cuff thing, so they put that in there. It's kind of cool.
Especially you.
Yeah. Half not cuff. I'm not always a cuffer.
No,
okay?
I just love in interviews with you.
No socks, all cuffs.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to do it.
Yep,
All right,
it's your signature move.
So looking at these ads, I agree 100% that these are great for retargeting, product demonstration, top of funnel. They're probably not going to work that well, and you know that they're running these top of funnel. But I do think that they do a great job with product photography, and also knowing that we know that the retargeting phase is going to be 30 to 90 days. Someone's going to see an awesome piece of like Russ Henneberry. Awesome piece of content that engages them with your brand, and you're going to have to keep hitting them with ads for months even before they make a purchase. And I think
Ezra, this bouquet of flowers, right? I saw this and I got so pumped because there's a little bit of curiosity here, right? It says new limited edition colors are coming, and you're like, wow, are they going to be
flower
all
colors?
of these colors,
Yeah, totally.
right? Which ones?
Yeah.
So they did a great job on that one.
Yeah, and I think that they do great with product imagery. This was a video they had that I thought this was the best ad that I've seen them do. Let's pop back to the screen. So the beauty of this ad was it was a GIF image, or it was like a video, and it was like this shoe that was all dirty, going up and up and up into, and it kind of like climbed up into the little bucket and it washed off, and then all of a sudden it was clean, and it was like, look. These shoes, you can throw them right in the washer. And I was like,
I had no idea.
Part of what sold me. You didn't know you could throw those in the washer?
I just now found out you can throw them in the washer.
So Carrie and I
buying new ones when they get.
Yeah. So this is my point about them having these cool value propositions and not educating the consumer about them, because that should be in your post-purchase automation sequence.
And this is a huge value add, right? This should go to cold traffic.
100%.
Because you see a white shoe. I was talking to you guys earlier. There was a cream, and I said I would get those dirty, right?
Yeah.
But if I saw this
But you
ad,
didn't
I
know-
would know that's not a problem.
Carrie and I ran through the mud in our plum slip-ons and just threw them right in the wash. And this is like this is when I talk about reuse of conversion assets, that should be in the post-purchase email. It should be in the cart abandonment email sequence. It should be on the box.
Did you know? Yeah.
Did you know you can
Now
throw
it's
these things
full.
in the wash?
For sure.
Yes.
And you know what? The beauty of wool, I don't know if you guys are familiar with merino wool or wool in general, which is that if you wash it and you let it dry, it keeps its shape. It doesn't get all funny looking after you wash it, which a lot of shoes that you wash get funny looking, you know?
Yeah, we don't want them to be funny looking.
I don't want them to be funny looking. Yeah. I try to wash everything I can. Anyways.
You ever put them in the dishwasher?
Never done that. No. But here's another thing I want to point out about the ad on the right. Notice what they've framed their product around. They've got sage sticks, they've got candles, they've got Pignon soap. I just think that they're doing a really good job with their product imagery and the hero shots of their product and making it pop on cut. Like, if you want to go and look at their Instagram feed, and this is where I really learned a lot about all the cool stuff that they do. Their social feed, their Instagram feed, it's so well done, but it's not amplified to past buyers.
Yeah.
They're not taking those amazing Instagram stories and Instagram posts and putting a little ad spend behind it in the loyalty pillar.
Yeah.
I go there because I want to learn as a marketer. What are these guys doing? You know, they're clearly VC. They've got to be VC funded, right? You got to figure they just got cash money to be able to
Cash money.
cash money.
Monies.
You got to
Magic
figure,
monies.
right? If the assets that they're using to sell are this well done and they're not promoting those like a scrappy direct response marketer would, they've got to be, funded. I'd bet.
Yeah, something awesome about this ad on the right. I mean, what does the sage and these other items have to do with the shoe? Nothing really, but they know their market and they know what their market's interested in. So if you understand your market, you know the things that they like, you place your product next to, stuff that market likes. I think that's a really smart ad.
As
Yeah.
a buyer. They immediately identify with other things in there and say, oh, that's me. They see themselves in the shoe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm going to steal the show for about 3 minutes while I do a quick breakdown of their website, and then we'll come back to the group. So we're going to go face to camera with me for a second. And what I'm going to do is hop into allbirds.com e-commerce website and talk to you about the things that they're doing well and some of the things I think they could improve. And one of the things I was saying about this e-com site was like, when I bought from it, I did an internal breakdown as I was going through the purchase process, and I saw a number of things that I thought they could do better to increase their conversion rate. Now coming back almost a year later, they've fixed a lot of stuff. So let's pop on over and take a look at their e-commerce website here. So here we are on the homepage, and what they have is a really sweet product hero shot with, notice how they're using the color and the way the product is shot to highlight the product and to highlight a thing that they want you to know about their product, which is that it's the world's most comfortable shoe, and it's made of wool. So I think it's really well done with 3 call to actions, everything that you need in your header. As you scroll down, you hear about their story. You see some moving imagery and some different product imagery and some social proof and some kind of cool GIFs. You get a video where you can learn more about them. And one of the things that I always say is that rich homepages win. People navigate back to your homepage looking for things like about us, contact us, privacy policy, shipping policy, what you're made out of, because they're being trained by Amazon and eBay and Sears to think that everything is available from the homepage. If you go to Amazon, if you go to eBay, if you go to Etsy, if you go to Sears.com, if you go to HomeDepot.com, and you're searching for something, you know as a consumer that you can find it on the homepage. So e-commerce websites that get that all of their content that a user might be looking for should be on that homepage end up performing better, because 50% of your traffic on average ends up back at the homepage. It starts at your product page, starts at your collection page, but it'll end up back at the homepage at some point in that customer journey. So as we continue to look at what they're doing, like they really do a great job on their homepage. They got a call to action at the bottom, an Instagram feed at the bottom, and then they've got some social proof and like a nice footer with their info and another call to action to opt in. So they're really doing a great job on their homepage. Now, one of the things that I want to point out that they're using, especially on desktop, I'm not sure if this is happening on mobile, I have to check, but there's a trend in e-commerce right now, which is image navigation. So you'll notice that when you look at the nav isn't just links, the nav is images, right? And that is especially when we look at the fact that we are consuming the digital medium via mobile phones and we're tapping things, we as consumers like to tap images. So if you're not using image navigation and you have a ton of products, you ought to consider it. And I noticed this was something they added. Let's take a look at their product offer page. The other thing, when someone asks, do they have a difference in men and women? The products are the same, there's just different colors. So I want to talk about a couple of the things that I like. I love that they've got a nice fast loading carousel on the left with big hero shots with image zoom on the right. They've got a video that loads on mobile down here at the bottom of the carousel. They've got your headline. They don't have any compare at price, this is what, like they don't have any transparency into their pricing, like here's what we pay. I mean, transparency into pricing is a big trend in e-commerce and it is helping people's conversion rate. So if there was margin, cost, it's something they could do, or even have like what other people would charge for this and what we're charging for this. They've got a nice little headline and text here. They've got their color selection, which is cool. And you'll notice that it loads really quickly. Which is nice. You've got your size selectors. And one of the things they recently added is a pre-purchase order bump right here. You can add this onto your order for $10. It's additional laces. They've got an image of it. That's done really well. Call to action has what I called perceived actionability. Didn't have that before, meaning when you scroll over it, you can perceive that there's an action available. Now check this out. As we scroll down, what happens? They've got a sticky header. Notice how the header sticks. And here's one of the things I think that they can improve. I want to show you something. So we have been playing with sticky headers a lot in our business. So take a look. This is where I drive most of my traffic here, right? I drive it all to a pre-sale page. Notice that we've got a sticky header too. But notice that the sticky header has our 2 main calls to action in it. And you'll notice that Allbirds sticky header does not have their call to action. So once you get below that and you're consuming more content, there's no way to say, I want to buy this thing, right? You can shop different shoes, but you've got to scroll all the way back up on mobile and desktop to get that call to action. If they had what's known as a sticky buy button, where that buy button was stuck to the header as you scrolled on mobile and desktop, you know what they would get? More clicks on that call to action. And that's one of the ways I think they can improve this product offer page. Now, as we scroll down, they've got some social proof, which is nice here. It's a little glitchy. It doesn't always load quickly. Like, for example, when you first scroll, you're not sure if there's anything down there. So I think that this part of the page could be coded better, but I like that they've got social proof right here below the product offer. And then they've got essentially their version of sales copy. So what they're figuring is by the time you make it to their sales page, they're not actually trying to sell you with copy. Now, if it was me personally, and you look at this sales page here, let's pop back to it, I would have sales copy like this. This is their only sales copy. What is the wool? What the wool? I would have that sales copy higher up, because my viewpoint is that when someone's making a $100 sale, my consistent experience has been that you put your sales copy below your call to action, below your main hero shot. I love their buy box. Love their buy box. I would stick some sales copy below it, personally. And I think that if they split tested that, they would find that even just taking these benefits and sticking them up here above the social proof would probably increase their conversion rate. Now, as we scroll, there's a little bit of sales copy. Didn't see it because it just blends kind of right into the page there. So I don't think that's done very well. That particular text, my eyes glanced right over it. They've got a little bit of an explanation of the product. These hero shots of the product kind of break it down, which is nice. So I really think that the page is done well. What I would do is, instead of learn more here about the product, like here's the sales page. At this point, I don't want to send you off of the sales page. And you'll notice that as you scroll down, you can click over to Instagram, right? So that's clicking off. You can click over here to shop the insoles. That's clicking off. Here you can learn more about the product. My agenda is to get you to click add to cart on a $95 product. So I'm not really trying to move you off that sales page. So I think if they removed some of these outbound links and they had a sticky call to action, they would increase their conversion rate. Now, to quickly, so the product offer page, by the way, it's done better than like 99% of product offer pages that I look at. It's done really, really well. And there are a few little places where they can improve. Now, one of the things that Lindsay was pointing out previously was that they don't have a blog, right? So to see their story-based content, you have to click on About Us. And if you just click on About Us, nothing happens. You can't click this link and go anywhere. You have to click it, and then it's a second click to the story of their brand, right? Which is a really well-done page, talks about the founders, talks about what they're up to. Then you have to click it again to get to their promise, where they're talking about here's what we do, here's what we, why we're ethical. And you'll notice that this type of imagery is reused over and over in their emails and stuff. This is why we're certified. This is what we believe about packaging. We're a B Corp, which means that we give back. We give some of the money that we make out to people in need, right? So this content that, these are the partnerships that we've done with Outdoor Voices, the ones that Colleen here is wearing. She's wearing those Outdoor Voices, anyways, you can't see her, these guys, shoes. So basically, like, it's hard on their site. It's hidden on their site, all these great things about them, right? What they're up to. It's hard to find that. And I would have that front and center. I'd have that on social. I'd have that linkable from the homepage. I'm sure some of it is. I'd be amplifying that in my email sequences. So those are just some of the things I noticed when I went through their site, but it's a really well done site,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
One of the other things I want to point out here is that they're using what's called a double header. So you've got one layer of navigation and then a second layer of navigation, which, by the way, the people who pioneered that in the e-commerce industry was Zappos. They were the first people to really pioneer this double header, where they have the top line here with their call to action. They've got their search box, and they've got their second header down here. And now everyone has kind of taken that from Zappos. They sort of pioneered that strategy.
Allbirds. Allbirds.